YouTube, what is going on? It's the Narrow Talk 23. I'm back with another video. Before we get into the video, YouTube, I need you to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. Turn on that post notification bell while you at it. Today we got a true crime story. We got the poor twins who were murdered by their father. Let's get straight into it.
And he said,
it's always something.
And I see the gun pointed to his head. And you think it's fake. You don't think it's real. Because that's not happening. That's just not happening. I just looked at him and I go, what the hell are you doing? You're gonna wake up the girls. And he goes, they're already dead.
What?
This woman is heartbroken after her husband killed their 16-year-old twin daughters just to get back at her for leaving him. But before he ended his own life, he reportedly looked her in the eyes and told her, I want you to live and suffer like I did. But how did they get to this horrific moment? This is the devastating case of Brittany and Tiffany Coughlin, the poor twins who were murdered by their father.
Bro, love ain't that strong, bro.
Brittany and Tiffany Coughlin were born on March 14th, 2000 in St. Charles to their mom, Anjum, and their dad, Randall. Anjum was only 18 years old when she got married to Randall, and her family, who were originally from Pakistan, disowned her because of it. She and Randall waited 10 years to have children, and when she finally got pregnant with the twins, she said she was afraid to tell her husband because he didn't even want kids in the first place.
I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, he didn't even want to have one. Now we're going to have two. How is he going to feel about this? And when he found out, he was okay with it.
Anjum describes her daughters as complete opposites of each other. While Brittany was more outgoing and into cheerleading and gymnastics, Tiffany was a bit more reserved and serious with her studies.
They were both very sweet, very kind, very helpful to their friends.
Man, it's just sad to hear that someone can do that to their own kids.
They were happy kids. They were very happy. They were spoiled, of course, but they were also like going to concerts, and concerts made them super happy.
Just like their personalities, the girls had different plans for their future. While Brittany wanted to work in hospitality and travel the world, Tiffany wanted to work with animals and had even gotten a job at a local pet store to gain experience for her career. Unfortunately, both of the girls' dreams would be shattered in the most unimaginable way. While Randall was a good father and gave his daughters everything they wanted, things between him and Anjum were not working out. Anjum said that he was super controlling and egotistical and would not let her do anything without his permission. She had asked him for a divorce multiple times in the past, but her daughters were at the time still too young, and Randall, who was the breadwinner in the family, told her that he would not support her if she left. Randall's LinkedIn page, which has since been removed, showed that he worked as a network manager at a mid-sized law firm in the Chicago area, while Anjum had a side job as a deputy recorder from Kendall County, Illinois. In February 2017, the two finally agreed to separate, and Anjum moved out of the house.
We, as a couple, decided it's the best thing to do is to go off our separate ways. He's like, I don't know how else you're going to do this, but you need to leave right now. Find a place to live.
She rented an apartment nearby so she could see her daughters, but Randall made it difficult for her to see or even talk to them.
I was not allowed to see the girls without him.
You mad she left?
I was told, please don't text your daughters. Don't text them goodnight. Don't have a conversation with them. And if my daughters wanted to come and see me, they were not allowed to be alone with me.
At this time, the twins were juniors at St. Charles East High School, and one of them, Brittany, had reportedly confided in friends at school that her family life was troubled. Even though the separation was mutual, Randall apparently didn't take it very well, and on March 9th, 2017, he visited Anjum in her apartment and asked her to get back together with him. But she had already made up her mind.
He had asked me after I moved out that he had asked me to move back in with him almost like 2 weeks later. And I was very honest with him. And I said, you know what? I don't see myself ever being with you ever again. We have tried so many times to work this marriage out, and it's not working. It wasn't working for the last 15 years.
That shit broke
And
his
that,
heart.
I think, really hurt him.
Back in 2015, Randall had been diagnosed with depression and put on antidepressants. But following the separation, he started taking 2 to 3 depressants a day and drinking heavily. He also started sending Anjum weird texts saying that he had secrets.
I started getting messages from Randy at work. He was drinking a lot. He was hiding wine bottles in his bedroom. And the text messages start out by saying, I want to see you. If you can come by, I'll give you all the paperwork you need for whatever things you need, you know. And then I got a text from him saying, you know, I have secrets too.
Anjum would normally ignore these messages, but on March 10th, 2017, Randall insisted that she come by the house so he could show her something. Eventually she agreed, not knowing of the horror that he had in store for her.
No! Where do you need help at? St. Charles. Where in St. Charles? Oh my God, my husband, my kids.
I couldn't.
It was Friday, and Anjum arrived at the luxury condo where Randall
I
lived.
couldn't be no operator. Like, you have to sit there all day and listen to people's problems. Not problems, but like if someone calling, it's a frantic situation, like something like that. Like, I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't do it.
Around 4:45 p.m. Nothing seemed out of place at first, and she could even see Brittany's head lying on the couch, watching Friends on TV. Brittany was obsessed with Friends, so Anjum didn't think much of it when her daughter didn't turn to say hi.
I went in the kitchen. I started grabbing my paperwork. He's like, all the paper is right there. And he was behind me. And he said, turn around. And I see the gun pointed to his head.
At first, Anjum didn't know what to make of this and thought that the gun was fake. She told him to stop messing around because he'll wake up the girls. And that's when he said something completely chilling.
And he goes, they're already dead.
What do you want?
I want a job that I don't hate.
That's fucked up.
I didn't go and run to check on them. I went and grabbed him instead. I go, what are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? He just pointed the gun to my head. And he goes, I want you to live and suffer.
Before Anjum could even process what was going on, Randall moved the gun from his head to her leg and pulled the trigger. And as she screamed in pain, he went to his room and made this gravely disturbing 911 call.
I just shot the kids, and I shot my wife, and I'm going to myself now. Well, sir, what happened to you? I'm going to myself now, too.
After giving the operator his address, Randall turned the gun on himself and pulled the trigger. Almost immediately after that, a panicked Anjum called 911 and told the dispatcher that her husband had shot her and her teenage girls.
Oh my God, my husband, my kids. Okay, I need to know where you are. I can help you, but I need help. Okay, ma'am, what address are you at?
Right. That shit don't make no sense.
Ma'am, where are you at?
Police arrived at the house at 5:12 p.m. and found a heart-wrenching scene. Randall, Brittany, and Tiffany were all dead with a single bullet wound to the head. Randall was found submerged face down in a bathtub filled with water. His cell phone was on the edge of the tub dialed to 911, and a magazine of gun ammunition was on the bathroom counter. The twins were lying in separate rooms covered with blankets, except for their head. Brittany was on the couch in the living room while Tiffany was in her bed. It appeared that she had been watching a video on her laptop when she was killed. Anjum was found in the hallway, totally devastated and bleeding from the single bullet that had gone through both her legs. She was rushed to the hospital where she was listed in stable condition.
Developing now, we're learning much more tonight about the shooting deaths of 16-year-old twin sisters Tiffany and Brittany Coughlin. St. Charles police now say their father killed the girls and then killed himself. As CBS 2's Sandra Torres reports, the evidence is in the 911 calls.
As the St. Charles community mourns the loss of Brittany and Tiffany Coughlin,
I just want them.
this tribute to the 16-year-old twin sisters continues to grow.
It's very touching, so even though I didn't know them, it's still very heartbreaking.
This morning I brought it up in church to pray for the family and for the relatives of such a tragic thing.
St. Charles police now say 48-year-old Randall Coughlin is the one who and killed his daughters.
The tragic incident left everyone in the community totally shaken and heartbroken. Why would a father do such an awful thing to his daughters? A memorial was set up outside the condo where mourners brought candles, flowers, and signs to remember the twins.
Memorial is growing by the minute. Flowers, candles, and hand-drawn signs, all to remember Brittany and Tiffany Coughlin, the two girls' twin sisters and juniors at St. Charles East High School.
They're quiet girls, they're nice, really sweet.
Classmates flocked here to pay their respects the day after the sisters were shot to death in a domestic disturbance inside this condo building.
It's kind of unnerving, and to realize that someone you were so close with and could see in a day could be gone in a matter of hours.
As Anjum recovered from her injuries, she could not help but wish that she had gone along with her daughters.
I was on a watch for about, I think, a week. If you ask me the days, I won't know. I don't even remember the date the funeral was. I guess I can look at the card and I'll know, but it's just a big blur.
On March 17th, 2017, a week after they were murdered, the girls were laid to rest at a local cemetery next to their father. Their funeral was attended by hundreds of people who eulogized them as sweet, innocent girls who did not deserve such a tragic ending. Understandably, Anjum struggled to get over the pain and grief of losing her daughters, but over time she has found ways to cope and heal from the trauma.
But if there is such thing as God, if there is such thing as heaven and hell, I need to make sure I end up with my girls and be with my girls. If I do something stupid, I may not end up with my girls. And I want to go see them again. Definitely. That keeps me going. I'm stressed out every day. Every day I don't know how I'm gonna get up in the morning and go to work. But I push myself to get through it because nobody understands that you're going through something so major, such a trauma. And I think my girls would be so proud of me.
What do you think about this case? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more.
Man, this whole case is just messed up. Like, first, you only did this because she left you. So you let your feelings get in the way of hurting other people. So you go ahead and shoot both of your daughters because she doesn't want to be with you anymore. And then you take your life and tell her you want her to suffer. To my understanding, you was only 2 weeks out of y'all having an argument and she leaving. So you making her suffer her the rest of her life now. Now she got to go through all this just because of your old broken heart. Like, that just don't make no sense. And then for her parents, I wonder what they had. If they was alive, I wonder what they would have to say. Because they said that they disowned her since she married him, and then he go and pull some shit like this. Man, it's just too much, man. It's just too much. But you too, if you made it this far in the channel, go ahead and hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. Catch me on the next one.